Talk about low-budget flights. No food or movies? I'm out of here. I like running better. Welcome back, YouTube viewers, to another video. So, if you've been watching this channel for a while, you might remember, wait, didn't you already do a video like this? Yes, I did do a video on the Best Animated Feature Award, except I deleted it recently because it wasn't very good. I think I can do a much better job now, just like with my Puss in Boots: The Last Wish review. So, gosh, this is a topic that is just ripe for conversation, is a nice way to put it. Yeah, I don't put much stock into the Oscars or really most awards in general, but this is just an interesting topic to me. It's also just interesting to see what won, what was nominated, what wasn't nominated, what didn't win. So, without further ado, let's do it to it. Okay, 2001 is the first year the Oscars did this, and by the way, for all of this, I will be referencing the Annie Awards, which are exclusively for animation. You can watch a bunch of their shows on YouTube. Those are for animation specifically, so they actually get good hosts, people like Tom Kenny, John DiMaggio, you know. And those are definitely a lot less biased and usually more likely to give these awards to movies that act and shows that actually deserve it. And those aren't just for best movie, best show, it's for music and cinematography and stuff like that. But okay, so 2001, both the Oscars and the Annies gave it to Shrek. Now, Shrek definitely deserved to win. Now, Monsters Inc. also came out in 2001 and was nominated for the Oscars, and I do like Monsters Inc. a lot more than Shrek. I mean, I don't think that's a very controversial statement, but considering just how important Shrek was as a movie, and it's still a very good movie, I think Shrek definitely deserved the win. Although interesting to note that for some reason Monsters Inc. was held off until the Annies for 2002, and it didn't win the 2002 Annies. It lost to some animated movie called Spirited Away. This is supposed to be really great, this movie, except I have no idea what it's about. I've never seen it, and I don't really care to. But I mean, it's not like DreamWorks made anything good in 2002, and Pixar didn't even make a movie in 2002. So you know what? This is an anime movie. It's interesting. It's unique. I'm glad this won. Although I wish the Annies gave it to Monsters Inc. I'm sure that's a much better movie. At least from what I like, anyway. Because I just don't really like anime. I mean, I like Dragon Ball, but I mostly read Dragon Ball. Then 2003, yeah, Finding Nemo won. Big surprise. Finding Nemo is very good. It's, as I mentioned in my Pixar ranking, which I wish I had held off that until I'd seen the Inside Out movies, but it's such a classic. Of course, this one, it's very good. Who doesn't like Finding Nemo? And yeah, it's not like anything else really noteworthy came out this year. So, yeah, 2004 is the really stacked year. So, the Oscars nominated The Incredibles, which won at the Oscars and Annies, of course. The Incredibles is a masterpiece. Shrek 2 was nominated. Yeah, definitely deserved a nomination, not the win, but it's very good too. The Annies did nominate the SpongeBob movie, which I'm not that big a fan of the SpongeBob movie, honestly, but it definitely deserved nomination. But the Oscars didn't nominate the SpongeBob movie, based on a super popular show that everybody knew. No, they nominated Shark Tale for some reason. Yeah, I think that just proves that the people who come up with these nominations really don't watch these movies. I mean, I'm sure they watched The Incredibles and Shrek 2, but there's no way they actually bothered to watch Shark Tale or anything. They probably just saw, this movie is the ninth highest grossing movie of the year or something. No, that's serious. It's not a joke. It actually did do pretty well at the box office. So let's just nominate that. That was probably their mindset. It's stupid, but it's not like it won. The Incredibles won and it was well deserved. 2005. But both the Oscars and Annies, the winner was Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were-Rabbit. I recently did watch this movie, and yeah, it's very good. I like it. I'm glad it won. It's DreamWorks' second and last Oscar win, sadly. And it was done with Aardman as well, mostly Aardman. And it's worth noting that the Oscars didn't even nominate Madagascar. And look, I understand that Madagascar is not everybody's cup of tea because it really is a pretty bare bones movie, but as I said in my DreamWorks ranking, I really like Madagascar. It's not a masterpiece or anything. I wouldn't go that far, but it's really good. At least deserves a nomination. It's a really funny movie. And isn't that all you need for from a comedy? And even the emotional moments that it attempts to have do work to some degree. So I'd say Madagascar is a genuinely good movie. But yeah, Wallace and Gromit definitely deserve to win. It's Wallace and Gromit. 2006 is the first year where things did not go so well this year. So I don't Flushed Away did not get nominated at any of these shows, and I haven't actually seen Flushed Away because the DVD copy I got at a library was the most broken thing I've ever seen. So I haven't seen Flushed Away. It looks good though. People say it's good. I'm sure it deserves a nomination at least. In 2006 Oscars, okay, look, Happy Feet was not something from a big studio or anything that makes animated movies. So I'm glad something unique won, but how did Happy Feet beat Cars? I've never even seen Cars. I plan on it though. And Cars is a classic Pixar movie. It should have won. It won at the Annies. But what annoys me is that Over the Hedge didn't win the Annies, didn't even get nominated at the Oscars. I love Over the Hedge. I'd say it's DreamWorks' best comedy. It's really funny and it's really well done. I mean, it's just the nice, fun movie you'd watch as a kid that you can still enjoy as an adult because it's just good humor. That's it. It's just a fun movie. And yeah, okay, I haven't seen Cars, so I'm sure, and it's a classic Pixar movie, so I'm sure it has some deeper themes and stuff like that. But and all of these movies are not exactly deep, aside from maybe Cars. I mean, Happy Feet is not deep. Yeah, it deals with environmentalism or something and whatever, but that doesn't mean it's good. That movie looks awful. 2007. Ratatouille won, as well deserved. It's my favorite Pixar movie, one of my favorite movies ever. Ratatouille is a masterpiece, and I'm glad to get the recognition it deserved. And if the Oscars did nominate Surf's Up, I haven't seen it, but it looks pretty good. It's an interesting movie. I mean, it's about penguins. Who doesn't love penguins? Well, unless it's Happy Feet. The Simpsons movie was nominated at the Annies, not the Oscars, even though it's the Simpsons movie. And again, the Simpsons movie is not um it's not great, but it's good. I liked it. It had a lot of funny jokes. I mean, it was just The Simpsons. Still, it's good. I wish TMNT were nominated. Honestly, TMNT is probably my favorite TMNT movie. Maybe the first two live action movies I like a little more, but I really like TMNT. I like that even though it has celebrity voices, they're actually decent, and all four turtles are still played by regular voice actors. James Arnold Taylor, Nolan North, Mikey Kelly, and some other guy whose name I can't remember. Oh, it's also Mako's final movie. We all know him as Iroh from Avatar. Yeah, so 2007 was not as bad a year as 2006, but 2008. Okay, this year will always bother me. Look, I can understand why Wall-E beat Kung Fu Panda because it's a classic Pixar movie and it was great. Don't get me wrong, but I've always said this. Yes, Wall-E is a great movie, but not only do I like Kung Fu Panda a lot more, Kung Fu Panda surprises you. And that is worth a lot because back in 2008, everybody expected the best out of Pixar. Everybody expected something great and deep and meaningful. And when you look at this poster, you expect something meaningful. When you look at Kung Fu Panda, you don't expect anything. You expect some cheesy martial arts parody starring Jack Black. But no, instead you get a movie that's really funny, but also super well animated, has great action, is really emotional. That means a lot. That means a lot more than Wall-E, in my opinion. And Madagascar 2 didn't get nominated or anything. I mean, I haven't seen the whole thing, but I like Madagascar 2. It's funny. It's good. But again, I can still understand why a lot of people might prefer Wall-E to Kung Fu Panda, so since it lost, at least it lost to something good. Although it is worth noting at the Annies, Kung Fu Panda won 11 awards. Yes, it's likely because Jeffrey Katzenberg might have influenced the Annies that year, but this Kung Fu Panda deserved all those awards. It's one of my favorite movies ever. Yeah, I'm biased, but it's great. Who doesn't love Kung Fu Panda? 2009. This is a stacked year. Up one, of course. Up is great. It's one of my favorite Pixar movies. And as I said in my Pixar ranking, people always just talk about the beginning of Up, but the rest of the movie is genuinely really good. I'd say the most emotional part isn't even the opening, it's toward the second act, the end of the second act, where Carl's just alone in his house looking through his wife's adventure book from when she was a kid. That was definitely the most emotional part to me anyway. Uh, I haven't seen any of these other movies, but Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs looks good, I guess. I heard people really like it. Coraline's a stop motion movie, I think. That's cool. A 2D Disney movie, that's Princess and the Frog, that's something. I remember seeing some of that when I was younger. It's okay. But I mean, it's a Disney princess movie. Why would I care about it? I'm a boy. Fantastic Mr. Fox, also a stop motion movie, and it that's based on a what's it say Roald Dahl book, and I really like Roald Dahl, so it's probably a good movie. I heard a lot of people say it's a masterpiece. Maybe I'll watch it someday. 2010. I gotta make a video sometime saying that 2010 is the best year for animated movies because I mean I haven't seen these bottom two movies, but pretty much every movie, all these movies are great in some way anyway. How to Train Your Dragon won the Annies, of course. Didn't win the Oscars, but How to Train Your Dragon is definitely my favorite movie of all these. It's such a masterpiece. I mean, only just barely, I'd say, but it's still great. Toy Story 3, I understand its Oscar win, but it even got nominated for Best Picture. Wow. I really like Toy Story 3. It's great. It's a masterpiece. I can agree with that, but eh, I just don't care about the Toy Story trilogy as much as other people do. I'm more of a How to Train Your Dragon Kung Fu Panda guy, so I just can't give it to that. I will say though, yeah, that ending is still great, and the whole rest of the movie is pretty great too. Megamind, of course. I'd say Megamind is about as great as Toy Story 3. I mean, it's Megamind. Come on. Didn't get nominated for anything, of course, and yeah, I know Megamind just didn't do too well when it came out, but eh, looking back now, we all agree it's great, so that's what really matters, right? Shrek Forever After also didn't get that good reviews when it came out anyways, made money, but I really like Shrek Forever After. I'd say it's better than the first one. It's not as good as the second, but I liked it a lot. And while I am excited for Shrek 5, I have to say Shrek 4 was a really good ending. I don't know how they're going to follow that up. Despicable Me came out this year, one of Illumination's only good movies. Again, I haven't seen it, but I probably should see Despicable Me sometime. Because, no, I haven't seen every animated movie ever, even though it might sound like that sometimes. Tangled, I've never seen, probably never will, but because it's a Disney princess movie. But it looks like one more of those classic Disney movies, and while I haven't really seen any of them, I like that style, I can say. It's a good style. I'm sure it's a decent movie. So yeah, great year, and I'd say that, yeah, How to Train Your Dragon still won at the Annies at least. All of these movies received some recognition in some way. 2011. Okay. Kung Fu Panda 2 is one of my favorite movies ever. I think it's the best sequel ever made. It's not an exaggeration. But I'm still glad Rango beat it because Rango was such a creative, unique movie. I don't think it's amazing or anything, but I like Rango a lot. It's good. And this is also the last year, worth noting, that at the Oscars, they gave it to something that wasn't Disney or Pixar for a really long time. Because yeah, if you look through these past few winners, let's see. That was a Pixar won that Oscars that year, but it's Toy Story 3. For Pixar again, yeah, but it's Up. Before it's Pixar again, but it's Wall-E at least. Before it's Pixar again, but it's Ratatouille. Their best movie in my opinion. Before then it was Happy Feet, which is still something unique, I guess. Before then was Wallace and Gromit, which there was no Pixar movie that year, but still, it's a stop motion movie. It's from Britain of all places. So yeah. Before then, it was The Incredibles, Finding Nemo, Spirited Away, Shrek. You can see here that there wasn't really a bias. It was just this movie is better, so it's gonna win. I mean, not in 2006 or 2008, but those are exceptions. But 2011 also a pretty good year. I've never seen Arthur Christmas. It's the only Aardman movie to not be in their Wallace and Gromit style. That's interesting, at least. It looks decent. Adventures of Tintin. I mean, it's a Steven Spielberg movie. It's got to be good. It's Actually, that poster says from Steven Spielberg and Peter Jackson, so it's probably quite good. Rio looks okay. I never saw it. Puss in Boots is pretty mediocre, but it's Puss in Boots at least. That's something. And yeah, Kung Fu Panda 2 came out this year, so did Rango. Good year, I'd say. 2012. Oy vey. Okay, so Rise of the Guardians just never really got recognition. It's gotten some recognition online over the years, but it was never fully appreciated when it came out. And Rise of the Guardians is definitely my favorite animated movie of 2012. It's not great or anything, but it's very good. I really liked Rise of the Guardians. It's such a creative, unique movie with a great cast of characters, great villain, great animation, solid music, interesting themes and messages. It's good. Wreck-It Ralph won at the Annies that year. I see a lot of people say Wreck-It Ralph is one of their favorite movies ever, and I like Wreck-It Ralph, but I cannot say that Wreck-It Ralph is one of my favorite movies ever. It's very good, but eh, it just didn't quite hit for me the way it did for other people. Uh, Aardman made a movie about pirates this year. That looks pretty good. Gotta see that sometime. And yeah, it's an Aardman movie that was nominated at the Oscars too. Although I think Aardman has just always gotten a certain recognition from everyone because their style is just so unique and creative and fun, and most of their movies are pretty good. Madagascar 3, of course, didn't get nominated, even though it's my favorite of the three. I mean, again, I haven't seen all of 2, so I'd probably end up saying 2, but I really liked Madagascar 3. It wasn't as funny as the first, but it wasn't trying to be. It was still funny, and the emotional moments they attempted actually landed pretty well. You might be noticing that this slide does not have the actual winner of the Oscars that year, which is Brave, because somehow Brave won. That is when the bias started, when they just started giving it to Disney or Pixar just because Disney or Pixar. And Brave was pretty bad. It's whatever. Oh boy, 2013. Frozen won. I bet I can tell you why. Because it made a bunch of money and is Disney. Wow. These people need to understand that making money does not equal good movie. I can't believe Monsters University didn't even get nominated this year. This is definitely my favorite movie of 2013. It's not Pixar's best, but I'd say it's one of their best. I really liked Monsters University a lot. It was a great prequel. It sounds unnecessary, but ended up being really good at enriching Monsters Inc. And I mean, how did Brave win or even get nominated, but this didn't? Did the Annies though? The Croods also deserves nomination because it looks fine, I guess, and it's DreamWorks. I like DreamWorks. Despicable Me 2 was nominated. I did see that movie a long time ago. It's fine, I guess. It's good. Eh. So I guess 2013 is another bad year. I'll say this is just the year that animated movies really started declining. I mean, because 2012 we still got Rise of the Guardians and Wreck-It Ralph and Madagascar 3 and Pirates and an Adventure with Scientists, but 2013 is really the year animated movies declined. Okay, yeah, we got Monsters University, and I guess, but what really else? Despicable Me 2? That's something, I guess. Um, The Croods, I suppose. Yeah, you see, the offerings this year were just not very good. 2014, okay. How to Train Your Dragon 2 won at the Emmys as it deserved to. It didn't win at the Oscars, though. I love How to Train Your Dragon 2. It's not my favorite sequel ever, of course that's Kung Fu Panda 2, but it's a really great movie. I really liked How to Train Your Dragon 2. But Lego Movie didn't even get nominated at the Oscars this year because why? Because it's Lego? I mean, I don't love the Lego Movie or anything, but I really like the Lego Movie. It's a good movie. It's creative and it's funny. Isn't that what matters? I didn't include Big Hero 6 here because it's Big Hero 6. That movie was bad. Not just because it ruined twist villains or whatever, as people say, because yeah, that twist villain is pretty terrible, but it's just not a very interesting movie. It's just a generic superhero flick. Then there was this movie, The Book of Life, which I actually did see. I'm not sure why, but I mean, I only say this deserved a nomination because it was creative. It's really not that good a movie. I don't even know what studio made this. 2015, Inside Out won as it deserved to. This is not a great movie or anything. I actually like the sequel more, which my next video will be on the Inside Out duology, but it's a very good movie. It's a creative, emotionally intelligent movie. It's really good. I'm glad it got the recognition it deserved at the time. It still does. Shaun the Sheep, haven't seen, but it's Aardman, some of the creators of Chicken Run and Wallace and Gromit, so it's gotta be solid. The Peanuts movie is something I've mentioned before in that I don't like it. Visually, it's very good, but it just does not capture the comic strip or the old specials at all because it just completely goes against the entire point, a huge point of those, which is that one, you're not supposed to see the little red-haired girl, and two, Charlie Brown doesn't get a happy ending. The point is that Charlie Brown is sad. You feel bad for him because he just never gets a happy ending. His life is so messy. That's what Charlie Brown is supposed to be. I understand they gave him a happy ending because it's a movie, but Monsters University didn't really give a happy ending. Sure, it's because it had to go into Monsters Inc., but that had the main character, Mike, learn the hard truth that you don't always get what you want, no matter how much you want it. If they had done that here instead, that would have been way more interesting. 2016. Okay. Kung Fu Panda 3 didn't even get nominated at the Oscars. I mean, I think we can all agree that Kung Fu Panda 3 is easily the weakest of the trilogy because there is no fourth movie. But it's still Kung Fu Panda 3. It's still very good. It deserved the win, I'd say. I mean, I haven't seen Moana, but because again, it's just not a movie I really care about. I'll probably see it someday, but I will say though, it definitely deserved the win over Zootopia. And I can tell you exactly why that won. Because it made more money and because it was about bigotry. Even though it was about predator and prey animals, which is just and had a stupid twist villain, and it's just not a very entertaining movie. Because look, good messages are good messages, but Zootopia does not really have the handle that its messages the best, and it's just not that entertaining compared to some of these other movies. And that's what I want for a movie, first and foremost. Is it entertaining? I haven't seen Finding Dory, but I heard it was good. That's something. But this video is really about the winners, and once again, you can see the bias here. 2015, because some of these winners are warranted. You know, okay, not that year. Inside Out was definitely warranted its win, but was Zootopia? No, it wasn't. 2017. I don't like Coco, guys. I know that's an unpopular opinion, but I just don't care about it. It's fine, but there's a good message. There's a good video. Coco's message is pretty bad, not gonna lie. You should go watch it for further detail. The point is just that the whole conflict with the kid's family doesn't really work, but you can watch that video if you want to hear about that. Once again, I haven't seen the Cars movies, but I am going to see them. I heard Cars 3 is good. I wish that got nominated. The Lego Batman movie and Captain Underpants did not get nominated somehow. Captain Underpants is a movie I did get to see in the theaters, and I really enjoyed it. The same thing with Lego Batman movie. I'm glad I got to see that. But it did win. DreamWorks movie did get nominated both from Annie's and the Oscars. The Boss Baby. That somehow got nominated over the Lego Batman movie and Captain Underpants, the first epic movie. I can understand the Oscars, but the Annies, really? I mean, at least it didn't win, although I wouldn't say Coco was a very good winner. Once again, Pixar won because Pixar, and because it's about foreign cultures, which there's nothing wrong with the movie tackling those kinds of things, and I'd say I'm sure it did it well, it's just that that's why it won. Not, I mean, a lot of people do like Coco, so that's something at least, but I don't really care about it. I don't see what's so great about it. 2018. I don't like Spider-Verse very much. I'm pretty sure I've said that before. I saw this in the theater. I really liked it when I saw it then, but when I actually saw it again, I did not like it, and I still don't really like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I'm still glad it won though, because it was a unique, creative movie from Disney or Pixar. Pixar didn't well. My Pixar release that year was Incredibles 2, which the less said about that, the better. And Ralph breaks the internet. Uh, a stop motion movie called Isle of Dogs came out this year. I remember seeing the trailer for that in theaters. Looks decent. Aardman made a movie this year, Early Man. That seems funny. So yeah, I'm glad Aardman got a nomination, and this is a year where I'm definitely agreeing with the winner for the first time in a while. 2019 may be the year that burns me the most. Because the winner here, this year, the winner in 2019 was Toy Story 4. But you wanna know why that movie's on the thumbnail? Shrek is there because it deserved the win. Rango is there because it deserved the win. Toy Story 4 is there because it just shows how biased the people who give these awards are. Toy, I don't even care, again, I don't even care about the Toy Story trilogy as much as other people do, but I still really like it. And I can acknowledge that Toy Story 4 is an utter failure in pretty much every single aspect. How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World is one of my favorite movies ever, and it definitely should have won. I mean, the Annies gave it to the first two, but they didn't give it to the third, which is a shame. They could have rounded out the whole trilogy. They didn't even give it. It didn't even win anything at the end. It didn't even get nominated for the music somehow. Abominable didn't get nominated, and I haven't seen Abominable, but it looks good. Decent at least. A somewhat creative, interesting movie. I wish that got some more recognition. I never saw Missing Link or anything, but I remember seeing the trailers for it a lot. It seems somewhat interesting. And hey, again, it's unique. I think is it in stop motion? I don't think so. Maybe it's just in a unique style. But yeah, 2019, Toy Story 4 won because bias. 2020, I haven't seen Soul. It's supposed to be one of Pixar's best movies, but eh, I haven't seen it. So while I'm sure it's good, I just don't have anything to say about it. Shaun the Sheep got a sequel. Aardman, that got some nomination. That's nice. The Croods: A New Age got nominated. Haven't seen that either. Yeah, I haven't seen any of these movies, so I'll just say these all got nominated and they all deserved it. Okay, fine. 2021. I do not care about any of these movies. Haven't seen Luca, but it looks decent, I guess. I wish that won. Why do I wish that won? Because the winner was Encanto. A very boring movie that people have talked about this before, but I mean, I don't like the music for Encanto, but the soundtrack was what people was the actually good part of the movie. The actual movie itself was pretty average. People just let the music blind them to it. Mitchell's versus the Machines is not good because at first it feels like it's going to be a slice of life movie about a family. That's interesting. But then it turns into this movie about a robo apocalypse, and it has all these internet references that are about 10 years out of date from when this movie came out. Yeah, because that sure is something. Good animation does not mean it's worthy of a win or a nomination. 2022. Okay, can I just say this really quickly? I understand the nominees in 2020 being stuff like Soul that only went to Disney Plus, but it was 2020, fine. But this year, movies were in theaters again. But just because, but I'm pretty sure this is the year when they made it so that even if a movie was only on Netflix, they can still nominate it somehow. And that means it went to Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, which should have a limited theater run, but still. I mean, I'm glad this actually won the Oscars. I'm glad they finally gave it to someone that wasn't Disney or Pixar, but the year Puss in Boots: The Last Wish came out, the most talked about film of the decade. Unless you count Morbius, I guess, or Madame Web, but a great movie that everybody loves. It's a total masterpiece. And hey, if they're gonna nominate streaming movies, why didn't they nominate Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles the movie? I really enjoyed that. That was good. The Bad Guys was not anything too special, but it was good. I liked it. I wish it got nominated. Yeah, you see, this is a year when Even when they stopped giving it to Disney and Pixar, it's still biased. Why they gave it to Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio? Because it had an artsy director that won the Academy Award for Best Picture once. That's why they gave it to it. Not because it was amazing or anything. I've never heard anyone talk about that movie, not even in passing. Nobody really remembers it. People remember The Last Wish, and people are going to remember it for years from now. Years from now. 2023. Okay, so we have here Across the Spider-Verse, which won at the Annies. Um, an anime movie. I think it's The Boy and the Heroine or whatever, Heron, something like that. That won at the Oscars. I'm glad an anime movie won. That's something unique. Across the Spider-Verse was well made, I'll say. But Mario didn't even get nominated for anything, which I really liked the Mario movie. I'm not even that big a fan of Mario. It's not a masterpiece or anything, but it's just a great standard movie. The animation was amazing because it looked realistic, but it still really looked cartoony. I'd say the celebrity voice actors did a pretty good job, surprisingly, especially Jack Black and Seth Rogen. Had a bunch of references to Mario that didn't feel super forced or anything. It was just a solid movie. Rocco Tar did a really good video called "Why the Super Mario Brothers Movie is a Perfect Adaptation." It's a good video. So yeah, another disappointing year. And I know why this movie won, not Spider-Verse. This anime movie won because it was from Studio Ghibli. Is it a good movie? Probably. But do I ever care to see it? No. So well, I guess this is more of my bias or anything. It's just that, I don't agree with that. In conclusion, I think we all know what's gonna win this year. Inside Out 2 is the biggest Pixar movie of all time, and one of the biggest animated movies of all time, and probably gonna end up being the biggest movie of the year. I just saw this recently, and I really liked it. It was great. It was better than the first one. I still wouldn't say it's even close to the best Pixar movie or anything, but it was really good. The Wild Robot will probably get nominated. I'm excited for that to come out. Transformers 1 might, and that's the movie I'm most excited for this year. But I don't expect it to win because, I mean, it's not going to beat Inside Out 2 or even The Wild Robot. But yeah, in conclusion, I guess I'm kind of missed the point of this video, but the point was that just look at the winners for each year and the nominations. You can really tell where the biases were. Because yeah, 2023, okay, not really any bias here. 2022, it went to an artsy director because the Academy loves artsy directors. 2021, it went to Encanto because Disney. 2020, it went to Pixar because Pixar. Well, it's good though. 2019, Toy Story because Toy Story, even though that movie was terrible. 2018 was not biased. 2017, I guess somewhat biased. 2016, definitely biased. 2015, biased but well deserving of that win. 2014, oh, super biased. I don't think most people would actually tell you that Big Hero 6 is better than How to Train Your Dragon 2 in the Lego movie. 2013, biased. 2012, biased. 2011, not biased. Gave it to something that deserved it. So yeah, that's it for this video. Comment down below if you found any of this interesting. You probably didn't, but I want to make this. So that's all for now. And as always, keep on juicing.